Zach Wilson.
Hello everybody, how are we doing today? Sorry for the late start, a little bit of a situation over here. So we're just making sure everybody's good. Alright, so situation out in Outagamie County in Wisconsin, which is where my daughter is, so we're just making sure she's okay. But anyways, today we are doing a 7-round mock draft. What up? Josh Simon shared. So the alerts are working today, which is cool. You can see in the corner right up over, sure, it's It's been doing this all day. I've been keeping track. So these are people that are following the Packernet Podcast Facebook page. I think we're live on YouTube too, so we got that going. I'm not sure if that's going to pop over in the stream. That's going to get annoying pretty quick. I might have to turn that off. But we got that. That's cool. Glad that's working. Multi-stream chat. Nothing's going on over there. The chat box is not working, but whatever. Still got the Taco Fund. If you want to test that and make sure it works, check the comments somewhere. Whatever you can do there. This is a little messed up, isn't it? I had this working earlier. Now it's all jacked up. Uno momento. Uno. What are we looking for here? Fix it. Let's do... That's not bad. It's fine. It's fine. We're good. I don't need to see the Jaguar's face. So it's a little bit distorted because I need to... The ratio is a little bit goofy, and I don't know how big that is for you or whatever. But anyways, today we are doing a 7-round mock draft for the Green Bay Packers. Haven't done this before, so we're going to kind of wing it and see how it goes. I'm going to do this really quickly. The biggest issue that I foresee happening is going to be the giant delay in getting feedback from you. So we're going to do this quickly. You guys ponder what to do. I'm going to kind of recap what's happened in the draft, and then hopefully we'll be able to kind of pick who's going to be the next Green Bay Packer, I guess. Let me pull this up. I need to mute it. That is really delayed. Okay, there we go. All right, so I can kind of see the comments here, even though I can see it over here. So I think I don't need this. Whatever. Thought you didn't want to do a 7-rounder. I did say I wasn't going to do a 7-rounder. That's true. Oh, no, I messed up my thing. You big dummy. There we go. I can't do that now. But I got the comments over here. I think we're good. Let's just go. Let's go. We're wasting a lot of time here. We're burning daylight. So again, this is supposed to go really quickly. Also, I've been getting a ton of trades when I've been playing with this. I did buy the updated version from the Draft Network. You guys are welcome. Because there's extra features. There we go. We got a trade offer already. So the Jets are at 23. They're wondering if we want to move up, and we're going to offer a 4th-round pick. I'll give you like 2 seconds to answer that. I'm kind of interested, but talk it over. I can't look at the other things. What up, Andy? Liking the stream, my man. Again, and the other cool thing is, if you guys follow somebody, if you haven't followed the channel yet, do that. I kind of set something up. I didn't set anything interesting up for the likes and shares. I didn't anticipate this many likes and everything else, so I will fix that, but go ahead and do that. Josh says yes, we should do it. I tend to agree. Goose says no.
Howdy.
Thank you, Skylar. That's great. Thank you. And don't leave. Stick around. We're going to party. So we've got a bunch of yeses. 3 yes the trade. So okay, we're good enough. We're going to do it. We got 1 no, 2 yeses. So we're moving up. We're giving up that pick. Now that's going to make the video a little bit shorter because now we don't have anything. But now we are on the board. We have, as you can see, Christian Darrisaw, which is an offensive tackle. Fantastic tackle. We could go that direction. I'm keeping an eye on the comments, so whenever you figure out what you want to do, let me know. Travis Etienne, I'm assuming not a lot of people want to do that. Zaven Collins, I talked about him on the podcast today. The biggest issue would be Tulsa. However, really talented guy and one of the few legit, like, super talented coverage linebackers. And he's like 260 or something crazy. Maybe he's like 240. I don't know. He's a big dude and he can cover. But again, is that because he's Tulsa? Whatever. Goose is already in on Darrisaw. I don't know why I'm getting these twice, but that's fine. It really, really nails it in there. Gregory Rousseau is technically an option if we wanted to get an additional edge rusher. We have Nick Bolton if you're a bigger fan of him. Jalen Mayfield, Alex Leatherwood. So we got a bunch of tackles. Tevin Jenkins. I was going to use my big board, but it just took forever to make my big board here, so I'll do that another day. Kadarius Toney is a guy who's flying up the boards. He kind of reminds me of a Ty Montgomery, if I were to think of somebody. Josh says best available. Bob says get him. David 260. Yeah, there you go. He is 260. So it looks like we're kind of all on board with Christian Darrisaw. Do we have any objections while we're sitting? We don't have to go too fast. Do we have any objections? I know there's a big delay. 6'4", 2. Yeah, he's a big dude. I don't see any objections. I think we're going to go Darrisaw. We're going to get ourselves an extremely talented tackle. I hope you can hear me. I don't know. I turned this down because it was a little crazy today. There we go. Now I can hear myself a little bit better. David, nope. I'm going to say that you're saying no objections. So we're going to draft Christian Darrisaw. So I'm happy with that trade. If we look at, Darrisaw would have been gone. Let's just say that. I'm not going to go back. What did we give up in the trade? I believe it was a 4th round pick to move up and get Christian Darrisaw. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of phone action here. So now we are, everybody wants to trade back, which I guess is fine. The Raiders want to trade back. They're offering us pick 49, as well as a 7th round pick. They want our 2nd round pick and another 4th, as well as a 7th round pick that apparently is not here. So what do we think? Are we moving? And that's the one thing, if I could comment on the Draft Network. If anybody watching this from the Draft Network, I can't see who's here. So I don't know if I want to move up or not. Who's on the board? I have no idea. If I get rid of this, is it just gone forever or what? I have no idea. I don't see any comments on whether we should move up or not. So I'm tempted to just say no because I don't even know who's here. But that's a massive jump, and we don't have to give up that much. I don't know. We should probably have at least one 4th round pick at some point, right? Goose says no. I'm just going to say no. We're just going to ride this thing out. We're going to ride it out. Who was available? Running back, tight end. I think that was the right choice. We did miss out on Tufele. What do you want, dude? I can't even do anything here. So now we are being... we're on the clock. The Giants want to move up. They're offering us... Wait. You want me to move back into the 3rd round? You're going to give me a 6th? I'm vetoing this. Sorry, not doing that. All right. Javonte Williams out of North Carolina. I think a lot of people are kind of interested in him. I think it was Bukowski mentioned him, maybe? Something. Saw him recently. Pat Freiermuth is still here. I do anticipate him falling. That's an option. Javon Holland, I mentioned, is sort of a versatile style guy. What? You can't do one-word things, David. I love you, dude, but I don't know what you're referring to. He says WTF. What thing? Oh, probably the trade. Yeah, that's a ridiculous trade. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm guessing, is what everybody wants right here. And I think I can click on these guys and we get a little bit of insight. 6'1", 195 for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Obviously, assuming Equanimeous is still here, you got that connection. The more talented brother. Baron Browning, if we want to go linebacker. You got Creed Humphrey on the interior. Freiermuth, any comments? I had mentioned on the podcast today, he kind of reminds me of Jimmy Graham, and maybe not the best version of Jimmy Graham. He doesn't seem blazing fast, but he's a big body dude. He's kind of going to box everybody out. Great hands. The guy, I mean, he's got these big giant bear paws, so he just snags that thing out of the air. But he doesn't super excite me, I don't think. Any thoughts? I don't know why. I don't think I can get YouTube. Is there anybody? Oh no. Oh, so this is the multi-stream. So that's pulling up Facebook. We don't have any YouTube comments? Is anybody on YouTube? I want to let this sit for just a minute. I'll check YouTube, see if anybody's even watching. It's tough to get these live YouTube things. Not a lot of people are on there. Which is weird because YouTube is huge. But, there's 20 people on YouTube. Put a comment in the comment thing, guys. I should check that. Maybe people are doing that. It's just not working. Still no comments on who we want to take here? No, there's no comments on YouTube. All right. Well, I guess Facebook, you guys do whatever you want. I'm probably, the only comment I got here is wide receiver. So I'm thinking we should probably go Amon-Ra. And I'm kind of just wanting to let you guys run this. Josh did say wide receiver. How is the value of 2nd round tight ends in the past? We're really digging here, man. I just need a name. I mean, the top tight ends are all kind of later guys. 3rd round, 5th round. I think Kittle was 5th round. Kelsey was 3rd round. Struggling to remember some of the other guys. What about Humphrey? It's an option. It's an option. Sorry about the screaming children. My daughter is sick, and she's an absolute terror right now. So everybody looks at her the wrong way. She has a meltdown. So terrible threes. All right, I'm going to do Amon-Ra because 2nd round has been good to us. Good call. Amon-Ra St. Brown to the Green Bay Packers. Jaguars ended up taking Freiermuth off the board. Oh, the screaming. I'm going to turn this back down. We got an offer here. Am I going up or down? This is not intuitive. All right, so we are being offered to move up just a tad, and we have to give up a 7th round pick. I couldn't care any less about 7th round picks, to be completely honest with you. Never have, never will. That's up, this is down. So I don't care. I'm willing to move up. But again, I you know what? Unless we have any massive objections, Steve wants a corner. I'm going to click this X and see if I can get it back. Because I need to see who's here. No, it's gone. So that they need to fix that. That's ridiculous. I don't know who's available. How am I supposed to know if I want to move up or not? They might just be garbage guys there. All right, so we got another tight end, Tommy Tremble. Tackle we already took, Hamza Nasruddin. He was a first-round prospect at one point. He is clearly tumbling down the boards rapido. Hunter Long, another tight end. We do have Tyler Shelvin. Tyler Shelvin, I mentioned, big, giant, massive. If you want a Snacks Harrison 342-pound-ish guy, let's see what they have him here at. 362. Oh my goodness. All right. Had a couple pot pies since the last time I looked. Kyle Trask they have at 98. So that's obviously very different than the consensus. Patrick Jones also much further down the board than most other people have him. He's sort of an early 2nd round pick on my board. But what are we thinking here? Wouldn't a cornerback be the obvious pick? Who's going to start opposite Jair? I hear you. But I don't really see a whole lot of corners. We got to go way down, and this is the problem with whenever I do mock drafts, I don't reach, and so you got to go all the way to 130. We're at pick 92. I'm not doing that. Now, if you guys want to do it, I'll do it. That's fine, but I'm not interested in doing that kind of stuff. And then I do the mock drafts, the 7-round mock drafts, without doing this, just saying here's who I picked, and people just lose their minds. Oh, geez, that's crazy. So apparently there is an supposed active shooter at the mall in Appleton, so if you know somebody there, check in on them. My daughter was there yesterday. That's horrifying. Anyways, any thoughts? Best available, says Josh. He's all about that, so that would be Tommy Tremble, the tight end. Josh also, best available corner. My apologies. So again, I'm down if that's what you want to do, and I definitely think once you get past the 3rd round, if we don't have a corner, people are going to flip out. I think it's ridiculous to pick somebody at 130 when we're at 92. So anyways, David wants Shelvin. If the big guy can move okay, then yes, says Andy. I'm not sure who he's referring to. So it's a tie between Shelvin and a best available corner. I'm leaning Shelvin just because he's sitting right here at a good value. I mean, he's literally at 92 and we're at 92. So Shelvin gets the tiebreaker. We have Kiki for passing down, so having a run stopper would be great. Sounds like a second vote. Best available offensive line. That would be an offensive tackle. And I believe our first pick was an offensive tackle, Christian Darrisaw. So the next available would be an interior offensive lineman, which is a little bit further down the board here. Where did I see him? I thought I saw one. Maybe not. There's not a lot of interior guys either. Devin says I agree with Shelvin. I think we're going to go Shelvin. I'll give it another second, but that sounds like 3 votes for Shelvin. Anybody on YouTube, by the way, if you want to chime in, whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing. All right, we'll do Shelvin. We'll do Shelvin. My cup is in the... One moment. There we go. Shelvin it is. I have a little bit of a crazy setup here. Waiting for the phone call. Waiting for the phone call. So, if we review, obviously cornerback is a massive need for us right now because King is probably gone. We don't really have somebody. What do we got here? Washington wants to move back. They want us to move up about 17 spots. They're going to ask for a 7th round pick. I'll give this a minute. Again, I don't know. If there's a corner sitting there, I'm moving up. Plus, if you think about it, we are kind of desperate for a corner. This will give us a little bit of leeway, just in case there's a corner somewhere between 123 and 140. Otherwise, I mean, even if like 145 we could have got him, still it's nice to know that... I'm leaning yes, but I'll wait to see what you guys think. Again, there's a pretty big delay, so kind of trying to milk it here a bit. There's not much I can do. I can't show you anything. I don't think. I can't click on any of this stuff. I can't even make this go away to see who's available, which is, again, they should probably fix that. Goose says yep. Devin says yep. All right, we're going to do it. Accepting the trade, so we are officially on the clock. I don't see... There's a lot of safeties... Man, not a single corner. You got Shakur Brown at 150. brutal. This is all edge rushers and safeties. This always happens with these simulators, I feel like, where certain teams, like there's not a lot of need for a certain team, so certain guys just fall way down the board, and it just kind of bottlenecks, and that's a little bit unrealistic because at some point, teams will just take these players because they're that good. So we've got a clear bottleneck here at edge rusher. I think last year it was running back, the same thing. So there's a lot of running backs and all that kind of stuff. Goose says safety could work. I would try to pull up, maybe if I do it on another window. If I change, obviously you guys are going to be watching with me, which I guess could be a kind of a nice little perk for the live stream. I don't think PFF would like it very much if I show you their, stuff they have to pay for. But what are they going to do? Boot me? Paying a lot of money for that stuff. Steve wants to know if there's any good edge rushers. Good is relative, but the top guy on the board right now is Janarius Robinson. If we check his prototype here, he's 6'5", 266. That's a quality fit for at least size-wise. Now, again, I don't know who our defensive coordinator is, so maybe that's a terrible fit, but he's kind of that, Rashawn Gary, Zadarius build. David, of course, wants Trey Sermon. Obviously, big Ohio State fan. I don't know. Hi. I like that. I'm sorry. I like that. Daniel, welcome, my brother. Welcome. We are friends. So, it's not a terrible thing. If we say we're moving on from Jamal, we need somebody. Trey Sermon is an option. It's kind of a luxury pick-ish kind of thing, but it's definitely an option. Sermon and Dillon would destroy teams. I don't disagree with that. So we got safety as an option. Andy says safety. Goose says safety. David wants Sermon. I don't like the options either, man. I don't really like the options either. I'm tempted to just... Let me pull up PFF in another window here, and I can maybe slide it back over. And I will show you if something comes up. Talk amongst yourselves, and I'll just really quickly look at some of these safeties here. So we got James Wiggins. Just curious if any of these guys have any cornerback experience. So we'll take a look at some of their snaps and whatnot. Mr. James Wiggins. So, Cincinnati, and by the way, Cincinnati, elite defense, right? We talked about that. Dominant defense. So, 484 snaps, 180 roughly in the box. So he's got some linebacker experience, 139 in the slot, 158 free safety. So pretty evenly distributed between slot, box, and free safety. So you got some options there. Let's see. Sermon sounds good too. So now we're really getting confused. I agree with the running back pick. Sounds like everybody's kind of on board with the running back all of a sudden. Should I stop and just pick Sermon, or should I continue? How about we'll leave it? We got Sermon. The other option is safety. James Wiggins out of Cincinnati, who's a versatile safety. Next person that comments, that's the pick. You're on the clock. I'm going to sip my lukewarm coffee. And yes, it's instant coffee. Anybody? I know there's a delay, but somebody put something out there. Sermon. Devin says Sermon. That's one of those picks. I'll do it and then talk because there's a delay. That's one of those picks where it's like it feels irresponsible, but I am so excited just picturing. Especially when you look at last year, like nobody got the picks that we wanted. It was all like, well, you got to wait a couple years for this one to come to fruition, but one day you'll be grateful. I want this draft to be like, no, this is week one. They're just ripping people's faces off. A.J. Dillon and Trey Sermon. You're getting the extra long poof sounds with that one, son. No trade offers? All right, we're back on the clock. Look at that. Shaka Toney is top of the board at edge rusher. Quick recap, as you can see, we have an offensive tackle in the first round, Christian Darrisaw, thanks to a trade. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown in the second round. Tyler Shelvin, big-bodied Snacks Harrison replacement at pick 92. And then Trey Sermon to be our Aaron Jones replacement at 123. We certainly need a cornerback, and once again, there are none available. Literally none. We could reach on Rachad Wildgoose. That is quite a name. Otherwise, we got Shaka Toney. We can go another wide receiver. We got three of them sitting here with Shai Smith, Josh Amatabajibajim, and Simi Fehoko. Got another safety, Reed Blankenship. If you guys want me to look anything up, just let me know. I can pull up PFF if you want to know snap counts or whatever. What about an edge rusher, Toby says. What's next after Gary and Z? That's a fantastic question. I do think they're going to want to go edge at some point because we don't have any depth, and they do rotate those guys a lot. So our number 3 edge rusher is going to be getting some play. Let me just pull up Shaka Toney here and see what PFF has to say about the man. While you guys talk amongst yourselves, a little coffee talk. Shaka Toney, Penn State. So, first of all, what does he primarily play? I'm trying to remember what these things mean. So he is a down defensive end primarily. Right end outside is what they call it. So hand in the dirt, off the right side, hand in the dirt kind of guy. He does play some stand-up outside linebacker, so he does have that versatility, but not quite as much. We're talking 21 on the left side, 58 on the right side. So there's a little bit of that. If we look at his grades and whatnot, Shaka Toney, 6'3", 252, by the way, so decently sized. 23 pressures on 200 attempts, which is fine. 43 out of 340 in 2019, so he does fine with that. The sack numbers aren't overly impressive, but again, I don't care as much about that. Those are kind of fleeting, plus it was an abbreviated season, so the numbers aren't going to be quite as impressive. But that's an option. It's an option. Wild Goose is a Badger. See? I don't even know that. I should know that. I'm wearing... I'm a fraud, all right? I don't know. The only Badger I really know is I mean, as far as the wide receivers, is a friend of my cousin's. But my cousin actually went to Alabama, so because of her, we are now Alabama fans. But I live in Madison, so I'll root for the Badgers. Go for the depth. Let's see. Tooney. Blankenship? What does PFF say about Blankenship? Let's see. Reed Blankenship. Give me some names. Just drop names in there. What do you want?
Howdy.
Howdy. What up, Drew? What's going on, big dog? Welcome to the party. I should share this in some other Packers groups. I just feel like they're going to get mad at me for doing that. Reed Blankenship, 6'1", 200 pounds, decent size. Middle Tennessee is not going to excite anybody. Terrible year this year. I don't know what happened. So, decent football player. 70 overall in 2017, 73.5 in 2018, 73.1. So for those that don't know, PFF 70 is good. This year he dropped to a 42. Primarily, I mean, everything went down. His run defense went down, but his coverage went from a 77 to a 37. He didn't have one good game in coverage this entire year. I don't know if he switched positions. Let me check that real quick. Maybe he was, if he was a corner, this could be something here. Really quickly, nope, he was a safety, and he was a good safety. Now he's a bad safety. I don't know. I have no idea what happened. I don't know. Maybe somebody else can fill in the blanks on that one. Goose says go edge depth. Go for depth, says Andy. All right. All right. That's good enough for me. We're going Shaka Toney. All right. So again, we're back on the board. No time for recapping. See? So we got plenty of time. So now what's next? COVID messed everything up this year. Defense got run over. Yeah, that is kind of true. There was a lot of that. But some guys kind of overcame that. I mean, that's a pretty drastic fall. But at the same time, when you have 3 really solid years and 1 bad year, there's got to be some kind of an explanation. Could be a diamond in the rough as well if you can figure out what that thing is. And you get the production, obviously, from the first 3 years and not so much that last year. You could end up getting somebody pretty solid later on in the draft. But all right, we're back on. We got our edge depth. Still need somebody at corner. Again, we could go way down and just reach at this point. It's not even that far of a reach, to be completely honest. Where are we at? 178. And so these guys are all just guys that are falling, but really pretty decent value is Wild Goose. So let's check out Wild Goose. See what they have to say about the Badger. Beep 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 beep. It would be kind of cool to get a Badger, I'm not going to lie. 5'11", 197. Only played 2 games this year, obviously. Wasn't super great. The grades are not overly impressive, although 2019 was a big jump up. So if we just remove 2020, he took a step in 2019. Statistics in 2019, 26 receptions on 54 targets, 329 yards allowed, which is not bad. He did allow 3 touchdowns, but had 1 pick and 5 pass breakups, 78.4 passer rating when targeted. Not terrible. Not the best tackler in the world. He had 22 tackles and 6 missed tackles, so I don't exactly have the ratio of what's good and bad in my head, but that feels not great, right? We're talking 1/3 of your total tackles are, well, it's about a quarter if you say that properly. Bryce Thompson I really like as a Vols fan. Who are we talking about with that? Where was that? I don't know. I don't see him. I'm missing it. LaBryan Ray, defensive lineman out of Alabama, always gets me excited. We shouldn't take him because we already got a defensive lineman. I'm just saying. Diablo, I've done Divine Diablo. I've done a bunch of mocks and I've had him in there, and I just get excited because his name is just super. Could you imagine having Savage and Diablo as your safety group? It's almost. I mean, it's just fake. Let's just look up Divine Diablo. Let's just look it up real quick. I should pull this over so this is more of an entertaining video since this is a visual thing. I think I'm going to do it. Again, PFF might not like me for this, but let's just go ahead and do it. Can you see what I'm seeing now? Yes. So here's Divine Diablo, 6'3", 226. You can see the grades. Obviously took a step in 2020, which is fantastic. I mean, nothing's bad here. You know what I mean? Pass rush, who really cares? Run defense, not the biggest thing, but that's not even bad. And when your best grade is your coverage, obviously that's solid. You can see over here, mostly strong safety, but he does have some slot experience, and if we want to, we can come over here and look at his snaps. See, what I'm doing, PFF, is advertising for you. People need to be paying for this stuff. But you can see 645 total snaps. The primary was inside the box, so that could be strong safety, could be linebacker. Next would be in the slot, and then after that would be free safety. But we come back over here, look at his defensive grades. You can see this year, 14 receptions, 183 yards, only gave up 1 touchdown, had 4 interceptions, 3 pass breakups. He's solid, man. How do you pronounce the wide receiver from Illinois? I don't know. What's his name? Where is my thing? I got so many tabs open here. Josh Imatorbhebhe. Oh, it's Bebe. That's amazing. Imatorbhebhe. Wait a minute. That's that joke. Have you heard that? What is it? Would you rather eat a baby goat or a matter baby? And you say, what's a matter baby? Nothing. What's the matter with you? Right? It's a funny joke. His name is a matter baby. That's flippin' hilarious. All right, what are we doing, guys? We need to make a pick here. Dang, pretty good. Savage could take the slot. That's true. Need a tall corner. Wild Goose is kind of short. Yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. If you're going to go with a short corner, let's make sure he's very good like Jair. You know, I don't know if you want a mediocre short corner. How can Goose not endorse Wild Goose? That's true. I think, Goose, you're locked in. So Goose wants Wild Goose, 100%. You don't have an option. I'm locking you in. Billy likes Bryce Thompson. We got to come to a conclusion here. So Diablo, he does look good. And he can play in the slot, we established. Devin likes Diablo. Otherwise, what are our other options? Not a lot. There was the corner, but we said that that's not super great. There is Bryce Thompson. Oh, no, you didn't say Bryce Thompson. Bryce Thompson, Tennessee is an option. Sorry for hitting that. There you go. Billy wants Bryce Thompson. All right. I think we're going to go Diablo here. I think Bryce Thompson does make a good amount of sense, but, I mean, again, it's just a mock. It's just for fun. He can play some corner. He can do a lot of stuff with now having 3 really good safeties. And, again, I'll make the pick and then talk. And plus, you know, it's just fake. We don't need to get mad about it. It's fake. It's for fun. We're going to be doing lots of these. It's just good. I don't think we're done with corner, though. I don't think that's a done deal. We're talking about a guy that can play in the slot sometimes. We still need a corner. What else do we need? Interior offensive line would be useful. We could go more wide receiver, like Steve said. That is definitely an option. Do I think Sullivan will be back in the slot? I don't know. That's not a guarantee. So we got a ton of wide receivers here. Now we got a bunch of corners. Let's check that out. While you guys talk amongst yourselves, hopefully you can read that. I'm going to pull this back over here just so I can just see it, and I'll pull something back if something interesting comes up. But we'll start with Trill Williams here out of Syracuse. See what we get. I should pull that back. You need to see this. I'm sorry. We'll just pull this back. 6'2", 198. He's got the size. He's got the size. Oh, inside linebacker. Yeah, I wouldn't be overly opposed to getting a linebacker at some point. The grades are there. You see the improvement here from 68 to 75. I can't really see, but I mean, that's not bad, right? I need to get rid of all this junk. Junk everywhere. Get out of my face. Too many tabs. DJ Daniel out of Georgia. It's another option. Check that out. Oops. Is that the right one? It is the right one. I got lucky on that. Oh, are you saying LOL or IOL? Anyways, interior definitely makes sense. This is another 6'1", 185. He's a little smaller, but he's got some height to him. Nothing super special, but it was a short year. So we're kind of just going on the 1 year, and he did a really good job this year. That's pretty much it. 5% chance the Packers enter fourth round without a cornerback. I agree, but again, who would you take? You know they're not going to reach for a third-round prospect in the second round. So maybe for next time around, acknowledging we need to get a corner early. But it does just fall. It's one of those things like I've been saying. We can come into this all we want and say there's no way that they're going to do this or that or the other. Just like last year saying there's no way they make it to the fourth round without a wide receiver. They didn't draft a single one. It depends on the board. It really does. I mean, if they're not going to reach, they're absolutely not going to. They might reach a little bit. They're not going to reach 15 players, and you know, again, maybe we can look at trading back and trying to get a corner, but they don't go into the draft saying we have to get this position by round 3, no exceptions. They might want that, but that's, you know, we'll see. All right. Otherwise, though, I do agree we should have gotten a cornerback by now. This is potentially extremely catastrophic. Williams is okay. Let's see. Hughes doesn't go up against the best competition, though. Yeah, that's the hardest part about college. You know, there's such a fluctuation in talent. What's the best wide receiver left? Any speedster gadget guys? Let's go back. Sorry, I should have given you this. I don't know about speed. I mean, we can click on we got Austin Watkins here, 6'1", 6'1.5". We don't know. So I don't know. They don't make it super whatever. So I don't know about speed yet. But the wide receivers, Austin Watkins out of UAB, Frank Darby, Arizona State, and Josh Palmer out of Tennessee. We also have Dax Milne out of BYU. Reaching is how you end up like the Rams. That's, well, you got to do a lot worse than reaching to be the Rams. But yeah, that's true. I'm going to say Williams because he played well in a bad program. I should know. I'm a SU fan. All right, so we got Williams, Trill Williams. 1 vote for Trill. Any other thoughts? Questions, comments, concerns? Let it sit for a minute. Let people get caught up. Christopher wants in Packing a Podcast Facebook group. What up, my man? Agreed won't reach. This is the 5%, but history is clear how greatly they value corner. 100%. Yeah, I mean, I still think, and people don't like when I say this, I still think their top priority. Your test has 105 views. Why didn't you say anything? I don't know what that means. I don't know what I was doing on my phone. I keep picking up my phone because I want to do something and then I get sidetracked with all that stuff. Yeah, I think corner in the first round is going to be their top priority. But again, it just depends who's there, right? And again, if you get an offer to trade up and get Darisaw, I think they do it, right? So that kind of throws everything off. And then since like round 2, we've been saying we got to get a corner and there's just nothing there. So I'm cool with Trill. Suppose Trill's a pick. Yeah, well, sorry, I'm ranting. Let's get on with the Trill train. All right. I got to rearrange all this stuff. He can take the torch as the Williams on the team. And to be honest, I hate to dog Kevin King too much, but he's legitimately been bottom of the barrel corner since forever. I know this year wasn't as bad, and last year he had a bunch of picks, so people kind of give him a pass. This year he didn't give up a lot of yards. Last year he had a bunch of picks, so nobody really got super mad at him. But, you know, we can do it. Oh, we're done. There you go. That's weird. Are we done already? I guess so. All right, so what did we miss on? We didn't get any interior offensive line. We did get 1 wide receiver, which should be relatively sufficient. Running back we addressed, so we should have a great running back group. Defensively, we did get a defensive lineman. We got an edge rusher in Shaka Toney, who I think is going to be a good fit. Did not get any linebackers, but we've got a young stable of linebackers. Not that they're necessarily elite, but they being as young as they are, they were pretty impressive. We added a safety, Divine Diablo. So we've got 3 there. I think cornerback is going to be probably, I think with this whole draft, the one thing you kind of worry about is corner. But I think every year you go in saying, what are we going to do at this position? And a lot of times it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. Wide receiver being the biggest example from last year. But yeah, David says it's a great draft. I don't super hate it. I mean, it could have been better, but based on how the board fell, I think you get excited about it. The offensive line with Christian Darrisaw, I mean, that's a fantastic value. Amon-Ra, I think, is going to be really exciting. You think about that offense, especially with Trey Sermon mixed in. You look at an offense that was already number 1. You add in a top-tier wide receiver, and even if he's, if we keep Lazard, so you got Lazard as your big body guy, you still get the production in the run game, and as a receiver, we still have our tight end, and we get the guy that I really like back, and I don't know his name, but we get the full stable of tight ends, and then you've got the running backs with a absolute hammer in A.J. Dillon, and you get Trey Sermon, who's going to be, I think, a fantastic running back. I mean, you get excited about it. So, every team has that, like, oh, what are we going to do? And even when the Packers go up against teams, a lot of times it's like, this team is so, look at, like, the Lions. Or what would be a better example? The Vikings. Oh, their corners are trash. How in the world does a team with trash corners go in and face the number 1 offense in football? Well, we went 1-1 against the Vikings. So, stuff is weird. Stuff happens. Aaron Jones is definitely gone in this scenario. Well, yeah, I think he's definitely gone anyways. Otherwise, it wouldn't. You question even making the pick. In my mind, he's already gone. And I'm not 100% saying he's going to be. I would be pretty shocked if he's not. They'll draft 2 offensive tackles before they add more IOL. Why? I don't know why they would do that. I mean, I know they use tackles a lot for interior, but, I mean, especially if Corey Linsley goes, we've got basically 1 interior guy. We've got Billy Turner, who would get moved inside hopefully with Darrisaw there, so we would have 2 tackles, we'd have 2 spots figured out. We still need a guard. So maybe they would get a tackle that could play guard, but the one spot we're missing is on the interior. So either we draft the center and you have Elgton Jenkins and Billy Turner at guard, or you draft another guard and you put Elgton Jenkins at center, or you draft a tackle and make him a guard and put Elgton Jenkins at center. But I don't know. I mean, they drafted 3 guards last year. They didn't draft a single tackle. Well, I guess that's not entirely true. Some of those guys were technically called tackles, but I don't think once they come into the NFL, they weren't tackles anymore. Rod could be a jet sweep. Let's look at that real quick while we're here. If you have to go, we have concluded. Thank you for joining me. Let's take a look at that, though. Amon-Ra. Beep-beep-bop. Come back over here. I'm bribing you to come hang out by showing you this PFF stuff. I think there's a space here. Here we go. So let's look at his, does he have any rushing? He doesn't have any rushing. Let's go back a year because he didn't play much this year. And rushing direction. So you look here and you can see the directions in which he ran. And as you can see, he didn't do any in 2019. Now, he can still do it. I'm not arguing with you. I just wanted to see how much he's done it. And as you can see, for example, left guard is him lining up and running here. If he runs any jet sweeps, end arounds, or reverses, that shows up here. He hasn't done that at all. We can go back 1 more year and see if he did any. Oh, he did. So he had 1 run in 2018, and it was a jet sweep. So I wish they'd give some information. Actually, you know what? We can look at. Here's how we can do this. If you just want to watch him do that 1 jet sweep, here's what we can do. Go to rushing grades. You find his 1 attempt right here. It was against UNLV. So if you really want to. What did I do that for? I didn't even know you could do that. You can click on UNLV and go there? That's crazy. So if you want to see his 1 jet sweep, it was against UNLV. But yeah, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown here. You can see his grades. So he's been very consistent for 3 years, which is always nice. Agreed, should do one every Sunday. Yeah, man, I like it. And I want to do like first round mocks and stuff, and I'll share it. Obviously, the YouTube channel is mostly a broader NFL groups, so they're going to be more interested in that. I like 2,000 people in my mock draft community, so I'll be sending that over there. But I'm probably going to be broadcasting to this Facebook group. So if you're in the mock draft group and you want to make sure you don't miss any of these, you can join the Packernet Podcast Facebook page or whatever, and that's where I'm going to be broadcasting these. But can you review the corners that were taken just before our third round pick? Who was that? Can I do that? Go to the third round. Review the corners. You said before. Oh man, so Ambry Thomas was right there. Can you review the corners that were taken just before our third round pick? So here we go, Ambry Thomas. Let's see what we got with Ambry. Come on, stop putting a space there, dummy. All right. We're in 2020. I keep forgetting to do that. So he didn't play, so we'll go back a year. You're annoying me now. There we go. So here are his, so this is one thing that's awesome to see is the growth. 64 in his first year, 76, then 80. So he's getting better every year. That's always nice to see. You can look over here and kind of see the consistency, right? Is it really high games and mostly bad games, or kind of whatever it is? This is pretty normal. This is actually pretty solid if we can sort it here. You can see half the year is good, and then you come down here and you got averages, and then even the bad games, you got just 50s and there's only 4 of them. That's not the worst thing in the world. Statistically, it looks like 330-some yards. Only gave up 1 touchdown on the season, 3 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups, 56.3 passer rating when targeted. So I don't know what we're talking about here. I'm a big fan of Ambry Thomas. Yeah, I mean, that. Again, I wish they would show us who's available on these trade-ups, because that would definitely help. I might try a different simulator, but I did pay for this one, so I probably won't, but I should. Mocks on the podcast are good, too. Yeah, I might start doing that a little bit. We'll see. It's weird to see what you look like. It's always weird, isn't it? It's very weird. Drew, I appreciate you stopping by, though, man. You did, see? Your name's up there. That's special. That's very special. I don't know. I guess we're done. Your CPU sounds like the Predator is behind you. Sorry about that. Yeah, the new computer, by the way, is showing up on Tuesday, so I'm extremely excited. Sorry, I do have this pointed. That's the problem. I got the mic here. Where is it? It's right here, and it's pointing toward my face, which is also pointing toward the computer. So it is what it is. Just a couple more days of this nonsense, and then I get the new computer, and it should be much better. So anyways, I guess we're done. Thank you all for checking it out, and I have